So in the end, I do not actually know what exactly the problem is. At some point, I think the GoPro is the one that's defective. At other times, I kind of feel like the SD card I'm using is the one that's defective. So what I did do now was to, switch out the SD card because I had one SD card lying around, never ever used it for a very long time. So I found it today and I felt like, okay, let me put it on and just, test it. I'm right now at home, as you can tell. My shop is on holiday. I did make a video yesterday. Of course, the GoPro messed up the video. Guys, I was talking for I think 25 minutes non-stop, just, having a very comprehensive rundown of how the year went, 2025, because I felt like it was a very, very beautiful year. I wanted to talk about it. I talked for 25 minutes non-stop. At the end of the day, I wanted to stop the video. GoPro, hung on me just like it was doing all the while. My camera broke like a month and a half ago, and it's been very, very difficult, trying to make videos with this GoPro. I'm not in a hurry to buy a new camera because I kind of look at these things from the business side. The last camera I had was like, 850 euros when I bought it. It was a Sony ZV-1. Bought it immediately. The phone came out. The camera came out. So now I'm looking at getting the Sony ZV-E10 because it has this, the lens. I can actually swap it out and put something, better for me. But I'm not in a hurry to do that because I'm looking at the channel. I make videos for YouTube. I don't use my camera for my eBay pictures. Technically, I use my iPhone, which gives me very, very good picture quality. But sometimes it's kind of difficult to just get the perfect framing with my iPhone. I've tried to use it. I don't know how people do it, but I feel more comfortable using a camera, like a conventional camera, to make YouTube videos. All right. So I'm making videos for the channel, and for one reason or the other, YouTube is playing with me. The videos are not getting traction, not getting the right impressions, even though I understand. I know that these are very good videos. It takes time. I understand this. I'm patient. I'm not in a hurry. I'm going to keep, pushing out content there, giving out value. Value in this case is just what I have learned doing my business, not like starting any YouTube drama or stuff like that. So if you are a reseller or you are thinking of going into reselling, looking for valuable content that will build you up, motivate you, show you how I do it. I say use computers, desktop PCs, laptops, monitors, phones, iPad, tablets, everything IT related is what I sell on my shop. All right. Yes, business sometimes is beautiful. You are balling, but some other times there are no inventories. Even when you have inventories, for one reason or the other, buyers are not coming around. This is what it is. If you are this kind of person that says, okay, I'm cool with business being this way, then you are welcome, to come along. But if you think that reselling is kind of a get rich quick scheme, unfortunately, my channel might not be for you because I will put in a lot of hours trying to make this money off the platforms. In this case, eBay. On my website, I put in a lot of time, a lot of hours, posting offers, shipping out items, just making sure that the items are generally in very good condition because, PCs being what they are very expensive. Sometimes a decent PC now could be selling for like 400 euros, 500 euros. And if somebody pays you that kind of money, he or she expects to get nothing less than quality. And because of this, we kind of, spend extra or take extra care to be sure that, everything works very well. Generally, I'm trying to test out my camera, how long it's going to last before it dies up on me. And also just to discuss with you guys, because I'm kind of chill today. I'm not in the warehouse. The next time I'm going to be going to the warehouse will be in January. Hopefully on the 2nd or the 3rd of January, I should be there. Yesterday I was there, cleaned out a lot of stuff. Then I made the video I was talking about, but unfortunately the video didn't really, I didn't really get the major things I was actually sharing was all cut off. So, but the introductory part of the video, was still there. You can still check it out. The sound was intact, but the pictures and everything was just lost due to the GoPro. But in any case, I'm here today, just like chilling, appreciating the opportunity to be able to, sit down, not do anything. I mean, I'm aware people have this kind of lifestyle, which is pretty much just chilling all day long. They've got perhaps a very good job, or the business has already grown beyond the hustle phase. They are now in the phase of just pretty much relaxing and money is coming in. It is a beautiful, place to be. I'm not going to lie. It is it's a time for you to really put in a lot of effort working, really, really working hard to ensure that your business, whatever you are trying to do, even your job, because when you get a new job or you get a new position, you also have to work really, really hard to, to put your feet on the door, to show to your employers that yes, they didn't make a mistake by employing you. The same thing if you're starting a business, there is a point where you really need to, hustle things out, get the business off the ground. And this is the most difficult time, the time when you are also setting how it's going to go. You're taking all the risk, buying inventories. If you're somebody that sell online, putting in all the effort with little results. This time you want to forget about time, because it's something I talk about all the time. If you're going to be looking at the time, how many hours have you spent? Some people, I see some, content creator here on YouTube saying, yeah, they are grinding on their business. They spend 1 hour and then they go take a walk for 15 minutes. I'm telling you, if you are really trying to, fight your way through this self-employment thing, through a business, bro, you're going to forget about time. You're going to forget that time exists. Sometimes when I'm working, I pretty much don't look at the time. And when I raise up my head from my computer, sometimes it's like 4 hours gone, 5 hours gone. And then I realize that, oh, I've been sitting for 5 hours. I actually need to take a break, walk around. It is what it is. If there was a shortcut or a way to just, bypass this thing, I'm just going to tell you. But from what I have seen, from the thousands of YouTube videos I have watched, at the end of the day, even the people, preaching all this thing called automation, delegation, just employ people, delegate. Look, they're just selling you a pipe dream. At the end of the day, if you are building a business, there is no one worker that is going to be able to, do that business or fight through the growth stage the way you will fight for it. If the business is already set up, the processes have been all made up, then you can actually go ahead and employ somebody, teach the person what to do, and the person just comes like a robot, does it. But if the business is passing through that initial stage, trying to make it live ground zero to the first stage of success, man, you pretty much have to do that yourself. And sometimes it might be a grind, So I'm kind of happy that today I can just chill out. I'm just relaxing here, taking a look, so many things. I never ever got time to appreciate. This couch was bought new. We bought it all the way from Poland. It was delivered like about 4 weeks ago when we came to this apartment. And ever since, I think this is one of the first time I will have the rare privilege of just sitting down here and just kind of relaxing, doing nothing, not thinking about eBay, even though somebody still sent me a request today. There was a PC that was sent out and the buyer wrote and wanted to ask if I had DVD drive for this PC. I haven't replied yet because I felt like today is kind of Weihnachten in Germany. If you know what I mean, it's Christmas. I understand in the US, your Christmas is tomorrow. Today is like watch night for. Anyway, today I felt like there was just no need for me to begin to reply such a customer. I'm going to write the customer perhaps on the 27th. To say, I'm so sorry, I was on holiday, which is the truth. I'm on holiday. The idea is, if I'm on holiday, I really do not have to reply anybody. I don't want anybody to make me any request that will also put me on this mode of, thinking I need to satisfy my customers. Because of that, maybe I want to go back to my PC. Of course, I'm still working somehow, even in my holiday, but this is not work that is supposed to be for eBay or for customers, shipping out customer orders or trying to solve customers' problem. The shop is paused and it's going to remain like that until I officially, come back. So I'm just, appreciating, everything that is here in the new house, taking a look at the apartment today. I had the opportunity or the privilege of actually watering the flowers, which is something I didn't do for a long time. So I woke up this morning, grabbed some buckets, got some water and kind of watered the flowers. There was one here, and there are also two behind me. I felt like, yeah, let me appreciate these things that we have, because sometimes we get so lost in this, grind thing. For me, I'm not really grinding now on my eBay business. The grind for eBay has been done, that's been signed, sealed, and delivered. That was grind I did like 2-3 years ago, and yesterday I developed a super process that ensures that, first of all, I do not have this risk. There's one thing I really need to make a dedicated video about this. I see people just keep buying inventories upon inventories, and I'm asking myself, I also sell on this eBay, and I understand why I had to change my strategy for eBay. Sometimes you go out there, you source for a lot of inventories. Yes, you get them, you buy them home, and you list them, and like 40% of those inventories sells, and the other part is just there hanging, looking at you, because they're ultimately going to sell. But I felt like the time it was taking to turn around the inventory was just too long. And I just had to change my whole processes altogether, because yes, there is this argument that people say, look, I bought these things for cheap. I sold 40%. I already got my money back with some little profit. But then what about the other, 60%? You have to sell these things to be, and then sometimes you want to go back to the market again, buy new inventories, sell 40%. At the end of the day, if you really take a look at that business, the business is not growing. Of course, you have this thing called cash flow, but sometimes it's even better not to have your money kept in your hands, and just have inventories that sell than trying to buy everything. At the end of the day, you're just only selling, very few of them. And so for like 1 year now, I'm actually kind of very, very conservative what I put on my eBay shop. This is not, I would have loved to have a 10,000 item shop. Who wouldn't love to have a thing like that? But when I take a look at the fact that sometimes a lot of traffic, I don't know, maybe perhaps this is just in my niche. I sell computers. It's, items don't really sell like, 300 items a day, but the profit on these items, sometimes they are very, very fantastic. Sometimes, on a regular computer, I could make as much as 60-70 euros just flipping it, and it goes really fast. It's easy to set up. It's not, and this is not a business that you have to work for. You already have the pieces from companies. They are looking clean. Sometimes the little thing you have to do is just to dust them out, clean some few stuff, but it doesn't require you to do intensive cleaning and stuff like that. So this is why I like it. Of course, diversifying my income sources, trying to do the YouTube game, pushing content on a lot of platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, because I understand that Facebook also has a monetization stuff. The beautiful thing about you being a reseller is that you have the data. Every day I go to the shop now, I go to the warehouse, it's already data for me, and I'll be doing myself a lot of disservice if I wouldn't bring out my camera and just, collect this data and post it on a social media platform. Because if the platforms are paying for this data, why not do it? Of course, it necessitated me also changing my processes, taking up an additional layer of work, sometimes setting up the camera. But I have so, hacked my warehouse that when I come to the warehouse, I only need to switch on a button. The camera is on, the lights are on, and it's already recording. I'm doing my thing. The camera is doing its thing. But unfortunately, camera broke. Everything has to be, coded again, from the beginning, which I'm going to be taking a look at next year. From January or so, middle January or towards the end of January, I'll be in a better position to begin to, gradually check for a responsible camera, perhaps the Sony ZV-1 or anything that will be in the same range in terms of budget. Hopefully get a good camera, and we are going to come hard at the YouTube thing, making videos, content, blogging, sharing you guys the behind the scenes. If you want to start, a PC reselling business, that would be a beautiful thing to talk about. We can talk about it. We can even extend the knowledge that we have now to other niches and see how these keys that we have built will be relevant in those areas. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you that as resellers, nobody actually knows it all. We are all trying to figure our way out. But the beautiful thing is that if we are sincere about the process, come out here. If you record a loss, talk about it. Tell the people that this is what I did that made this transaction go south. This is what I bought. It wasn't a good buy. I bought it too expensive, or this particular item, stayed too long in my warehouse before it sold. That's the best thing to do for the community. But if you come here to only flex, talk about the good side of reselling because you have an ulterior motive to try to, sell something to the person looking at your videos, that would not be a good service to the people. Once or twice I did try to sell, some courses, but each time I try to sell these courses or this kind of consulting session, I'm always like, second guessing the whole process because first of all, I won't have time if I'm really doing reselling the way it should be done. I'm not going to have time to be sitting down every morning on some money calls trying to mentor people, but then I will have time to tell you on a video like this. Perhaps if you are really saying, no, I want to hear from you one-on-one, I will have time to really sit you down and just tell you that, look, in this business, or if you decide to be a reseller, you have to have some special kind of character. First thing, you have to be able to wake up in the morning. You have to be a self-starter. You have to have an eye for research. You have to be able to observe trend. You take a look at the eBay sold listings. You spend about an hour or two. You already can see where the trend is going. And then you also have to be somebody that's very, outspoken. Somebody that's not, scared to reach out to new people. You can walk into an organization and say, hello, my name is James. I want to see if I could buy some of your old stuff. This kind of thing. It doesn't come easy to everybody. But like I always say, the beautiful thing is that it's something you can learn. But you also have to have that willpower, that determination to want to learn it. These are the skills that you first need to bring to the table. But sometimes people already want to, bring the skill. Okay, I have some little bit of capital. I just want to buy PC or laptop and flip them. You having the capital is a beautiful thing. But I'm telling you, if you want to make this a sustainable business, yes, you need to have, some special kind of skill set. And this skill set, some people just get it. They are born with it, while others have to really fight to get it. I pretty much was lucky. My parents did train me to be that man that is very, very, I was kind of raised the hard way, so to say. I was raised not to be soft, to be a fighter, whatever I wanted to get. I was raised to, to put in work. Nothing good comes easy. That's what my dad would always say. You have to kind of work for it. And you have to be very, very intentional, with whatever you are doing. If you say to yourself, I want to start selling laptops, yes, you need to be very intentional with that. Tell yourself, these are the things I need to do, and do it. Not like, I want to start selling laptops. I don't want to I don't want to hear what I need to do. I don't want to dig deep into what I need to do to make it happen. Yes, this is what I want to do. What are the steps? Take it. Yes, it might be difficult, but it is part of what you have signed for. All right. So this is what I feel. Now it's like 18 minutes. And funny enough, the camera hasn't died. Let's hope that it will stay like this. I'm going to leave the video here so that it's not like unnecessarily very, very long. But if you have found some value here and there in this video, please do me a favor, be subscribed to the channel, click on the like button. Go back and watch the old videos. We did make a lot of videos this year. I'm proud of myself, for being able to pump out these videos alone while still holding an eBay shop, being a family with kids. That was a lot of work. So consider subscribing to the channel. Click on the like button once again. Until I see you in the next one. Peace.